So whether you're just starting out with making videos or you're a seasoned pro, the question for all creators is always, what is my next video going to be about? I'm Aaron. I'm going to be telling you today my exact process for coming up with ideas, staying organized with everything, and then executing so that you never feel stuck with coming up with another video idea. Stay tuned as well. I'm going to be sharing my Notion template later in the video for you to adapt however you like. So this video is going to be broken up into two main categories. So in order to plan a video, first you need to have the idea, and then second, you need to plan that idea and come up with how you're going to make it a reality. It might sound kind of funny, how am I going to teach you how to have good ideas? But it is possible. You don't really plan when an idea comes to you, it just comes, right? So what you have to do on your end is, one, create the conditions for ideas to come into your head, and two, actually record those ideas so you remember them later when it's time to make a video. A good idea can only come to you when there's room for it in your brain. I'm definitely guilty of this, always listening to music, always listening to a podcast or an audiobook, or trying to fill every second with social media. The reality is though that unless you have space in your brain to think and connect the dots freely, you won't be able to actually come up with an idea. So trying to reduce the amount of content you consume is gonna really help your creative juices to flow on their own. Now, the second thing that you need to do, you have a good idea, now you need to remember it for when it's time to make a video. So you need a system to write things down. I use Notion as my main management system for content, and I just have a big table, a database of ideas. And it's easy because you usually have your phone with you all the time, so you can just pull it out, write it down quickly, and then go back to whatever you were doing. So that being said, yes, inspiration will strike sometimes spontaneously, but there are times where you just sit down and you want to intentionally think of more ideas. So I want to share some of my techniques for coming up with content ideas that I use pretty regularly. So number one, talk about what you know. Think about something that you already know a lot about, something that you're interested in, something that you've spent your time on and that people ask you about. That is usually a really good starting point for you to go ahead and make a video about. Next technique, I got this from Ali Abdaal. He calls it viral replication. What you do is you take a video in your niche, you look at how many views it's gotten, and how many subscribers the person has. If it's gotten a ton of views compared to how many subscribers they have, there's a good chance that this kind of video is very interesting, that it's going to perform well. So that is one way to find topics that are going to be underappreciated and overlooked, is based on the video going viral. You don't want to copy it exactly word for word. You're going to put your own spin on it, but it gives you a good idea of a good starting point and premise for another video in your niche. Next thing you can do, keep a journal. A lot of my best ideas for videos came from some kind of realization I had or something that I'm struggling with. And usually those find themselves in my journal when I'm just writing freely. So it'll get you to reflect on your life, reflect on what you're going through, what you're thinking about, and a lot of times there's some really good stuff in there. It's gonna be unpolished, so you're gonna need to go in and then maybe re-script it somehow, but it's gonna give you some really good ideas for stuff that is true to you because you wrote it from the heart. Now, the last technique I use, I wanna be 100% transparent. I use AI for content creation. Like, let's be real here. ChatGPT has been really helpful for me to figure out some of, like, how to best package what I know about and what I can create about in a valuable way. So it's not making the video for me, but I say, hey, listen, I want to make a video about this is my kind of niche. These are things I know about. What are 5 different kinds of video ideas I can make? And it will repackage what you've said and reframe it in a way that's going to be something marketable or interesting in a video format. You're still making the video. This is just to get the ball rolling. Now, the second huge part, after you've got your idea, Now you need to plan your video, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you my Notion template. I'm gonna include it in the description for you free to use as well. So you don't have to worry about writing this down, but just to show you my system for coming up with ideas and then keeping track of my content. Okay, what I've made here, you don't have to do this in Notion, do this in whatever tool you want. I'm not affiliated with them, but I basically have this database of all of my YouTube ideas and what stage they're at in the process. So I like the Kanban view, however you say it. Now there are a couple of main stages that I have. So when I have an idea, it goes into one of two places. It's gonna go either into ideas, right? Or the idea vault. So ideas for me are just things that come to me and I could make it tomorrow if I wanted to, right? The idea vault is something that I want to make, but I can't make yet. So for example, like this, what's in my camera bag 2025 filmmaker traveler edition. That's not something that I can make yet because I'm not traveling yet. So I wanna keep that on the back burner for a while until I start traveling and I learn, okay, these are the most important pieces of gear that I like to use. Now on the side here, I also have templates. Now some of these things are, for example, if I make a challenge video that's like, I ran for 30 days straight or something, I've got a kind of loose structure that I like to use for a challenge type of video, right? So we've got templates, we've got our ideas, right? So once I look at an idea, I like it, I wanna make it, it gets moved over into the planning stage. Now in the planning stage, I'm actually gonna get into the nitty-gritty of the different sections, what I'm gonna say, my main points, some of the music I'm gonna use, things like that. From there, once I've planned it out, it's gonna go over into our filming category. So now this is when we actually make the video, right? Some are gonna have different timelines from others. So like that running video, for example, that's gonna take a month. So that's gonna stay in filming for a while, right? But something like this, I can do in literally a day, right? So that one is just gonna go into filming. And then from there, it's gonna go right into editing. And then the final one is posted. That is our final destination. The way content creation is you're often juggling multiple projects at the same time because their filming scopes are different, their editing timelines are different, so you've always got multiple projects on the go. That's why I like this kind of system, so that I always know at what stage every project is, because you're always gonna have multiple stages. So this is the way that I like to organize things in my head, at least. What I want to do now is actually show you how I plan out a video step by step. My biggest tool that I use is the table. So the table is going to tell me everything about this video that I need to know. Now it might slightly change based on the video. You might need a little bit more script, or it might be completely vlog style, so you might have an extra column for script, but basically you're gonna have the different sections, right? This particular video that I'm showing you is a vlog, so it's gonna be split up into different days because it's a week in my life, right? But if you're making a different kind of sit-down video, it might just be the different sections that you're gonna talk about. So now for this kind of video, the planning is kind of gonna happen after the filming because I didn't know what was gonna happen before the vlog happened, right? So I go through my main talking points or my main narrative points. I just write them down here in this what happened column. And then some things you film it and you're like, this doesn't really add any value. So I just strike it out here because it's not actually worth much. Next, if I need any additional voiceovers, if I need something else that's gonna tie things together, I'll write them in this column, right? And then one of the most important things here is the vibe of each section. I feel that this kind of helps you take your content to a new level because it helps your storytelling so much. Once I have the vibe down for all of my sections, what I'm gonna do next is go and select the music. Those are your two most important things in any video, is the story you're telling and the kind of music you're using. That's like, nothing else beats that. No amount of fancy graphics is ever going to beat those two things. Me personally, I use Epidemic Sound. It's a huge library of music that you can use with a subscription. Sound effects, music, basically anything for any type of vibe. And that's why having this vibe column works so well. The link in the description if you need it. No pressure to use it, but it does help me out, support the channel too. Now, the last element that we haven't talked about for planning a video is your title and thumbnail. Why am I saying perhaps? This might be one of the most important parts of creating a video because this is your packaging. This is all the viewer is gonna see to decide whether they wanna click on your video or not. You can make the most incredible video in the world, but if your packaging isn't attractive enough, nobody's actually gonna watch it. So this is another important part that can't just be spontaneous. It's worth putting that effort into it. So yeah, that's pretty much my whole process for coming up with and planning videos. I'm gonna be linking my Notion template in the description for you if you wanna check it out, use it, adapt it however you want. Hopefully it'll just provide some value for you and you can speed up your workflow too. If you found this video helpful, consider liking, subscribing, anything helps. Thanks for watching and I will see you next time.